Hi, we are back here. This time we are here to provide you with visa interview tips for students. About this presentation, with over 27 years of work experience, with more than 20,000 students, those who have benefited through our consulting firm, we have prepared a presentation which talks about why visas get rejected, making students understand the visa law, the problems and the solutions. So we need to understand why visas get refused. When a student is going there with their test scores, your admission offers, your financial planning, but all those things do not assure a visa. So what is the problem? So we need to understand the problem. The problem is that when student goes, most of the time they don't understand the visa law, the visa requirements, the documentation, lack of knowledge on the college. Have they researched various options in terms of finding out the best fit for them? Most importantly, the visa requirements and what does ties mean, which is really important when going in for the visa interview. Student visa or any interview is subjective. What you say, what the other person could understand could be two different things. Hence, it is important to understand the visa law. What does ties means in terms of visa law? What is the officer's expectations? Do you understand each question? What does each question mean? So also we have to understand what happens during an interview. Sometimes the interview process can be scary if you do not know what to expect. Most of the interviews would have three characteristics: the beginning, the middle, and the conclusion. There are thousands of people applying for visas every day. The visa officers are running against the time. They would possibly give you 1 minute or 2 minutes. So your statement should be concise. You should be organized. You need to provide information which is relevant to your case voluntarily. So let's talk about the solutions. Let's understand the visa law first. The visa law states that any student who's applying for his visa, the officer must consider him or her as a potential immigrant and do not issue a visa until proven otherwise. So you have to show your intentions of returning back to your home country because you're going and studying in the US. So the most important reason should be your professional goals in India or to your home country. You need to know about the companies that you wish to come back and work for, your career plan, your career growth, and how will this US education help you achieve your career plans in India. Now, when you go in for the visa interview, there are obviously certain questions to be addressed. So let's understand what does each question mean. When the officer is asking you why do you want to go to the US, in fact, he wants to know what have you studied here, what are you currently doing, and how will this education help you in your future. So there's an inherent difference between reasons of going to the US and the features or the speciality of the US education system. You have to provide your reasons of going there. Only then you can talk about your features. So the most important thing is going to be your reasons of going there. When the officer is asking you why this particular college, here the officer wants to see if you've done any research in finding out colleges based on your requirement, or you've just jumped to one college, so in essence, you have to inform the visa officer your desired fields of specialization and your requirement, and then how does those universities match those things or would fulfill your your education aspirations. The features could include but not limited to the course content of the university, the curriculum, the research areas, the global exposure, the practical approach, the world-class faculty, the content that match the current industry requirements, a lot of hands-on experience, the ranking. You can talk about all those when you are there in front of your visa officers. How will you fund yourself? Now, financial ties to your home country are also important. The officer wants to know what are your family doing in India? What is their annual income? Do they have savings and investments or not? So talk about the complete investments of your family, including your property, including all the assets that you have. So when the officer says, why do you want to go and study in the US or why US? Now here he wants to understand that did you apply to any of the Indian universities? Have you compared the course content, the curriculums, and how did you reach this conclusion that US would be the best? So you can talk about the US education system, talking about the highest standards in designing the course content, that the US upgrades the curriculum to match the industry requirement, the world-class faculty, great labs, and educating students to be industry ready. So that means that you'll be industry ready once you come back to your home country. So when he says, what are your future plans? This is where the officer wants to know. According to the visa law, you have to show your intentions of coming back to your home country. So you must know the reasons of coming back to your home country. And it has to be targeted towards your professional goals, which is really important in order to qualify for a visa. The reasons to return back should be that how will you succeed in India once you come back? How will the US education provide you with the tools that could that give you better skill sets, and you could be working in organizations in India where you can take on bigger roles and challenging roles. You can talk about the Indian economy, the Asian economy, how it's growing, how the environment is more conducive and challenging for professional. So your growth options in India are going to be far better than any place else. So you have to inherently keep talking about your personal and professional growth in India. So make sure that you understand that these suggestions provided here are general in nature. It is best to consult a professional who could guide you and advise you according to your situation, as each case is different and there are no one fit to all answers. So everyone is different, so make sure that you frame your answers according to your profile. So that's the best thing. Thanks for watching it, and make sure that we connect. We have also recently launched our mobile app. You can basically, for the Android phones, you can type Rivata International and you can get the complete visa process, the OPT process, and of course various other things. So thank you so much. All the very best.